bigger drop in Hawaii. These are non-agricultural payrolls. A much bigger drop in the recent recession than back in the 9/11 dot-com bubble recession. And then, you know, maybe a little loss of traction in the last month. Here's the changes from month to month. So transition from lots of job loss to emerging job gains, and then the June thing. You know, just to sort of confirm for all the negative type guys that there are risks. We had a bad number in June. And I don't know, what were you guys doing? You know, why did you lay those guys off or whatever? I don't know what happened in June. Who knows? These numbers are revised every February anyway, so you know, the magnitude of that change may be revised out. But fine, we lost some momentum in the second quarter. I think that's sort of the flavor you're gathering. If you listen to what people are saying in the stock market, right, it's, hey, great earnings, you know, we were worried because at the end of the quarter things seemed to be slipping, and that was true nationwide. Things seemed to be slipping, and the recovery seemed to be losing some traction. But then all the earnings came through and kind of validated. You know, 80% of earnings were above forecast. So sort of validated this argument that things are, you know, moving along unevenly at a moderate paced recovery that will transition to expansion. Here's the unemployment rate, which remarkably also unlike the job count, which actually went down in June, unemployment also went down in June, which is like opposite. Hello, which one am I supposed to believe here? And I just went back to the 70s to remind everybody that no, the unemployment rate a year and a half ago was not the highest unemployment rate ever. I don't know how many times I heard that, but I wish I got paid every time I heard that because it's a lie. And it was much higher in the 70s when all of the baby boomers in the room, like me, were trying to get a job at Dole Cannery in 1975, okay? We were, you know, somewhere between oral contraception and AIDS, right? We were like completely unproductive. And there was a zillion of us. You remember portable classrooms? There's about 5 guys in the room who go, yeah, I remember portable classrooms. Okay, so that's why the unemployment rate was high, because we all graduated from high school in the same year, and we didn't know anything. But this cycle clearly, you know, was a gnarly one in the context of the last couple cycles. So what's amazing is how fast the unemployment rate now is dropping. By my reckoning, and I only have data back to the 1950s, but it's the fastest ever. And here's the detail. It's also falling on the neighbor islands, which took a much worse beatdown than Oahu. So, you know, I haven't given up on this recovery scenario just because 1 month of jobs numbers were surprisingly negative. And I have to say, I'm going to keep my eye on this a little bit. The unemployment rate on Oahu, which is just around 5%, is the definition of full employment for the U.S. Okay? So remember when you were stealing each other's employees? Like 3 years ago? Right? Wait a year. It's coming. What? Because, look, they weren't born. The people you want to hire in the next year, they were not born 25 years ago. Right? Because it's oral contraception and whatever, right? And increasing female labor force participation, all that stuff. All of the, you know, social change meant no kids, and now no 25-year-olds. This is why immigration is a problem. Okay? So it's coming. Get ready for it. I mean, you know, maybe not next year, but we'll be back there soon enough. So if you put inflation and unemployment rate together, as I've done here, these are Honolulu data for the last 25 years or so, right? You can kind of see that trade-off. There's a tendency to move around the point with about 2% inflation, which is like the Fed's target, and for Oahu, maybe 4 to 5% unemployment. And we're in the process of moving back there. The first half U.S. Consumer Price Index inflation rate was 2.1%. And the June seasonally adjusted Oahu unemployment rate was 4.7%. So, okay, we're kind of off. That's the sound effect for what I'm showing there. It's remarkable how fast this has happened. Now, the recession, which is moving from the upper left to the lower right, you move down.